Can I ask you to help me in some clarity on a specific issue? I've been trying to move from this location to actually California, and I'm not going to tell the story about how I fought it and felt desperate about it.
You don't have to. It's all there, right there in your vibration for everyone to read.
So when I dropped that and started loving where I am and accepting that, everything started to move, and it's just been great.
So as you began looking for positive aspects, so are you saying that because you cared about the way you felt, you couldn't keep doing what you were doing and thinking about it the way you were thinking about it and feel good? So when you began looking for positive aspects because I want to feel good, then you began finding things to feel good about. And when you began finding more things to feel good about, then you began perpetuating a more good feeling vibration. So then you became less holding yourself to unwanted things and more allowing yourself to move toward wanted things. So now you're beginning to feel things opening up, yes?
Yes, and then as things opened up and a great possibility came up, some things happened that made it less great. And I'm wondering if it's what I did.
It's always what you're doing. Okay. It's always what you're doing. And you're doing it, but more important, you're doing it now.
Yeah.
More important, you're doing it now. So let's tell this story differently. So Abraham, I'm wanting to move to California. We're going to replicate what you said in an exaggerated way, and show what we would do in an exaggerated way. And we're going to speak the vibration that you were presenting, whether the words were there or not. Abraham, I'm living in a place I really don't want to be, was the first vibration that we felt very powerfully. I'm living in a place that I really don't want to be, and I've found another place that I do want to be. Now, found another place that I do want to be seems like a positive statement, but it wasn't the dominant vibration. Can you feel that? Our friend earlier asked, what's my dominant vibration? Wasn't the dominant vibration. The dominant vibration is where I don't want to be. Where I don't want to be. And so then you held back. You didn't say some things because you realized that we would climb your tree about it because you witnessed other things. So you held back, but the vibration was still there. So now you're wanting to say it better. So I like the idea of being someplace else. In fact, I like the idea of being in California, but you're still saying, I don't like to be here. I don't like to be here. And then you said, but then I found some positive aspects about where I am. But that vibration wasn't much improved because I found some positive aspects in this place that I really don't want to be that made it less unpleasant to be in this place that I don't really want to be. Still the vibration that's going on. So because I've found some improvement, am I making progress? And we say, well, of course that's progress, but it's not noticeable progress. You don't feel any real enthusiasm. Things aren't really unfolding in a really powerful way. Oh, you got some movement, but not enough movement to really make any difference because the movement that came brought with it other things that really didn't move. So while it shifted a little bit, and we say, still, not enough has changed to make any real difference in your experience. Something more has to happen. And that more thing that has to happen is you have to more consistently get into that vibrational place that feels good, which means from our point of view, we would try, if we could, to stay off the subject of the moving at all, because when you focus upon it, all you do is activate it where you last left it. So every time you talk about that, now this is really an important thing to understand. Abraham, I thought you said that we are the creators of our own experience, and I thought that you were encouraging me to be the deliberate creator of my experience, and yet you are discouraging me from thinking about this thing that is important to me. And we say, yes, we are discouraging you from thinking about this thing that is important to you because you've got a habit of thinking about it in a way that doesn't serve you. So every time you activate it, you activate vibrations that don't serve you, and then you try to overcome them, and then you get frustrated, and then. So Abraham, what are you suggesting? If I'm the deliberate creator of my own experience, then what should I be thinking about? Anything that feels good. Does thinking about where you are in relationship to your move feel good? Not really. It feels like hard work. It feels like I'm not ready. Well, then don't think about that. But it's important. This topic is important. Shouldn't I think about important topics? We would pick the importance of the topic based upon the way it feels, not based upon its problem-solving qualities. We would pick the importance of the topic by the way it feels. So you're saying that I have to basically think about things that are sort of boring, things that don't matter to me so much. Boring doesn't feel good. We're not saying boring. We're saying something that feels good. Is there anything that you could think about that feels good? Well, if you can't find it now, then that means you've got to start in a more general place, and you've got to start first thing in the morning. So you think about something that doesn't have any teeth in it. You think about, is there anything in your experience that you really feel good about? Do you like the feeling of fall? Are you enjoying the different smell in the air? Do you appreciate the cycles of your planet? Do you appreciate the holidays that are coming, or the feeling of the holidays, or the socialization around the holidays? Now, we might be stirring up more trouble than we are soothing with all of this. But you know how you feel about it. In other words, does pumpkin make you feel good? Do you like it when Starbucks gets the pumpkin drinks? Do you like that? Do you like that? Is that a good... Well, now we hit on something that really feels good, didn't we? So find something that feels good. Do you like the feeling of fall in the air? Do you like the splendor of the leaves turning color? Are you happy that you live in a place where you get to see that? Do you like living in a place where there are seasons? Do you believe that your appreciation of life is heightened by the difference of those things? In other words, we're just sort of reaching around, helping you reach around till you find something that feels good, until you find a touchstone that feels good. And when you find it, touch it, milk it, stay there with it, talk about it, think about it, not for the problem-solving faculties of it, but for the momentary pleasure of it. This is the thing that we've been leading to all day long, and this is the perfect discussion for us to culminate with, is that if you're reaching for the thoughts to solve some problem, to make the moving easier, or to get more money into your experience, or if you're reaching for the thought with the ulterior motive of solving a problem, then you're sort of missing everything that we've been talking about here today. Where if you're reaching for the thought for the life-giving, good feeling, and those words mean the same, the life-giving, good feeling moment of the thought, now you're really onto something. So I'm not thinking this thought to get me to California faster. I'm thinking this thought because it's a pleasurable thought right here and now. Because the source within me is thinking all pleasurable thoughts on general topics and on incredibly specific topics. Now stay with us just a little bit. This is new. You're going to love it when you get there, and we believe that you are in a place that you can do this. So, contrast of your life has caused you to put things in your vortex one by one by one by one by one. You can't even remember putting them all there. You couldn't begin to acknowledge that they are all there, and you certainly, with your human consciousness, don't have the capacity to mold them all together. But you've put them there, and the source within you has molded them all together and has now a clear definition of who you are. In fact, is living, being the vibrational essence of that which you have become. So, talk about specifics of becoming. In other words, the vibrational reality is complete, and it's vivid, and it's pulsing in a way that you can find it. And as you feel the vibe of it and move along with it and get in sync with it, it's going to be pleasurable, 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 pleasurable as you go. And if you have to talk about pumpkin drinks as the first step into it, it's really worth doing, because whatever it takes to find pleasure in this moment will bring you to more pleasure, and therefore more specifics and more specifics and more specifics and more specifics, until you will be on this high-flying disc, feeling the momentum of who you are. We were telling the story about Esther last week, that she loved driving the monster bus because the diesel engine in it was so powerful. And she has an Audi R8 that has an engine that is so powerful, and in proportion to its dimension and size and weight, this is a powerful machine. And when Esther gets out on the roadway in it, she loves the open road because the lower gears are necessary, and she understands that, but she can feel the vehicle laboring in those lower gears. And when she gets out onto the open road where she can just open it up wide with no concern about the policeman who can't find her because she's in a different vibrational frequency than they are, and just feels the power of that machine wide open. That's similar to the way it feels when you get on this high-flying disc and the energy that creates worlds is flowing through you. But you got to move into it. You have to feel your way into it. You have to find it and feel it and stabilize there, and find it and feel it and stabilize there, and find it and feel it and stabilize it there, until within 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 or 100 days, you're stable there. And then when you begin thinking about anything that matters to you, because you're already there, it's just wide open and it flows easily. In other words, there is a leverage in alignment that you haven't begun to taste or feel or experience the benefit of. And until you're willing to get there in the easiest way that it is to get there, you're not ever going to discover the thrill of being there and then increasing the momentum with the more specific topic. So did you follow all that? Be general, even if you think that it isn't important enough, because in the generalities, you're going to find alignment with the energy. And once you've found alignment with the energy consistently enough that you own the feeling of that alignment, now you can move into more complex conversations and more complex thought processes without losing your alignment. Does that make sense to you? And so, of course, it feels way better to be in passion than in a place of sort of soothed contentment. We would far rather see you in passion than soothed contentment. But we would far rather see you in soothed contentment than in strong momentum about something that you don't want. So we're talking about momentum. We're talking about placement on the disc. The first and most important thing that matters is that you get yourself on that high-flying disc in whatever way you can. Which for a lot of you is going to mean it's a lot of topics that are going to be off limits. And at first it's going to feel odd because you've convinced yourself that it's important to think about those topics. But in time, it is our promise to you that you will have convinced yourself that it's not the topic that's important, it's the frequency. And once you have taught yourself the frequency, then you can choose the topic. And then you've got the leverage that creates worlds flowing through you. And then you can make the differences in the world that you want to make. Then you can feel the ecstasy for life you've come to feel. Then you can be the bright light that you were born to be. Then you can be the uplifter that you want to be and that you were born to be. Then you can be the happy person moment by moment. Then you can be the person out anywhere with anyone at any time, doing anything, loving life. Then you're not putting yourself in the corner of guardedness. You're finally free, you see. It's a vibrational freedom that you've been looking for. And you are so close to owning it. Just play with it just for a little bit. And expect that these words that Esther has so purposefully matched to the frequency of our meaning, trust that these words will be matched by your own personal experience. And then and only then will these words that your ears have heard today have meaning to you. Because words don't teach. But they can point you in the direction of what you already know. And that's what's been happening here today. You found so much resonance with what you know. Now show yourself the resonance, practice the resonance, and then watch what happens from there. And then, should you try to explain it to others? No. Not till you're solidly there. And when you're solidly there, they will flock to you. What do you know? Why are you so happy? Why are things always working out for you? How is it that you can barely have a thought and things start moving into place for you? What magic wand have you found? Why are things always working out for you in the way that they have? Are you always this happy? Do things always go this well for you? Those are the kinds of questions that people will be asking, and you'll just say, not always has it been that way, but recently, yes, because I've discovered that nothing is more important than that I feel good, and I go to any lengths to feel good. Oh, how do you manage that? Are you able to control your children? No, I gave that up a long time ago. Are you able to control your government? No, I gave that up too. Then what do you mean? How is it that you've accomplished this? I figured out that there is one thing that I can control and only one thing that I need to control. And once I found how to control that, everything else fell into place. What's that? I found out I can control the way I feel because I have the ability to direct my own thoughts. Well, what do you mean? They'll say, well, there's this 30-day process.